Now we're going to do the innominate or coxal bone in this one, and there is a lot. So let's start with just some setup information. During embryonic development and fetal development, this bone was actually 3 bones, and at that point they had names. So if you know those names, this gets so much easier. So I took the liberty with a permanent marker. You can see I drew these lines, and then there's another one right here. So you had 1 bone here, 1 bone here, and 1 bone here. And as you developed, they started growing at the same time towards each other, and then finally fused before birth right inside of this depression called the acetabulum. So this upper bone, this is called the ilium, and the adjective form of that word is iliac. That'll make sense as we go through this. The back portion of the bone right here, this is the ischium, and the adjective form of that word is ischial. And then the front narrow bone right here, this is the pubis, and the adjective form of that word is pubic. So we have the ilium, the ischium, and the pubis. And then you have to know directional terms. So I have this in standard position. This is a right innominate bone. So up here, this is superior, this is inferior, this is anterior, and back here is posterior. So if you know that, this gets a lot easier. So again, ilium, ischium, pubis, superior, inferior, anterior, posterior. And keep reviewing that because this is all going to come together. All right, now we're going to review all the structures real quick. Okay? So we have the crest of ilium, or also known as the iliac crest. And that's this right here. Crest of ilium or iliac crest. Now we have the spine. So we're going to start in the back. This is posterior, superior, iliac spine. If we drop down below that, posterior, inferior, iliac spine. Right here, this is the greater sciatic notch, right there. Then we're going to come down to the ischial spine, right there. And then if you look at the ischium, it's kind of shaped like an L from there to there. It's an L, so it has an upper leg and a lower leg. So this section right here, right in there, that is called the superior ramus of the ischium. And then if I go dead center down here, this is the inferior ramus of the ischium. This big knob is the ischial tuberosity. Now if we come over to the pubis over here, it's also shaped like a reverse L. So this right here is the inferior ramus of the pubis, and this leg up here is the superior ramus of the ischium. All right? Right here, this little bump right here, this is the pubic tubercle. And then if I turn it on in just a little bit, there's a flat surface right here where the 2 innominates come together. That's called the pubic symphysis. Now right here, dead center, this big depression is the acetabulum. And then there's a little void right here. If you watch this ridge, it goes all the way around and then stops. All the way around and stops. That gap right there is the acetabular notch. And then this big open right here is the obturator foramen. Okay? That's everything on the front. Oh, nope, I forgot something. Hold on. We have 2 more spines right here. This is anterior superior iliac spine. This is anterior inferior iliac spine. And we're going to review all that stuff on the back as well. All right, so let's flip this over. I know this is a long video, but it's a lot to learn here. All right, on this side, again, we're going to go over a lot of things in repeat. So this is the crest of ilium right here, or iliac crest. This big depression is the iliac fossa. Now let's run through the spines again. Remember, the pubis right here is always in the front, so this is front. So anterior means front. This is the anterior superior iliac spine, anterior inferior iliac spine. Coming down here, this is the superior ramus of the pubis. Pubic tubercle is right there. Pubic crest, now you'll have to get a bone out and feel this. There's a very sharp ridge right here. This is called the pubic crest. Again, that's the pubic symphysis right there. Pubic symphysis. inferior ramus of the pubis is right here. Remember that line, even on the back, let me get a pencil, that line is right about there. Right there. So that's the inferior ramus of the pubis. If I jump over that line, that's the inferior ramus of the ischium. Superior ramus of the ischium. This is ischial tuberosity. All right, I'm going to spin this like this. This is the lesser sciatic notch. Ischial spine. Greater sciatic notch. And I may have forgot that on the front. We'll just add that now. Lesser sciatic, greater sciatic notch. Okay. This right here, that is the articular surface for the sacrum. And then we have a couple of more projections. This is the posterior superior iliac spine and posterior inferior iliac spine. And that is everything. If you have any questions, let me know.